Ciao ragazzi, vi rubo solo 2 secondi per ricordarvi di iscrivervi e di lasciare un bel mi piace. Grazie e buona visione.
While we're here, you better stay off the Aurora. You don't want that drug scrambling your brains.
Welcome to Slayton Aerospace. Can I help you? I'm afraid Mr. Slayton is a very busy man. Ah, there does seem to be a hole in his schedule. Nice try, but CEOs don't just walk through the door. They make appointments. I'm sure you do. I'm afraid we just can't book any more appointments today. Goodbye.
Wait. This clearly isn't the executive level. He's on to us.
Walter. Taking what's mine and then breaking into my office. A bold move, but one easily countered.
Oh, we're trapped.
Hello, Walter, dear, are you there?
Issa?
Took longer than I'd like, but I managed to pay off one of Slayton's security consultants. They've patched me in.
All right. We've got her out. Once the door's open, just follow her instructions, okay? I'm aware of the irony of me continuing to say it'll be easy. But it'll be easy.
Doors will open in 3, 2, 1. Slayton's guards and employees are all over. Be careful. Okay. You'll want to use the vent system to slip around unnoticed. There's a cupboard just to the right of the elevator. Security is on full alert.
Just getting warmed up.
No point slipping through unnoticed now. You'll have to fight your way to the exit.
The mark's mine!
Let's do this.
Hold on. Trying to shut down that robot remotely. Got it. They're scrambling the protocols. That's how it's going in. There's the door. It should take you outside.
You expect us to climb up the trade tower?
There's a series of catwalks that lead directly up one floor to the executive level.
Well,
the executive elevators. I'll call the one on the far end, and you can walk right over the top.
You know, it's moments like this that really makes Neon the best place to do business. You steal what's mine. I trap you in the city. You infiltrate my office. I lock it down. Where else can you match wits for the highest stakes but here? You have what's mine. I, indirectly, have what's yours. We are at a stalemate. Although I do count a few more guns on my side. You do make a bold point, but that doesn't resolve our current dilemma.
Perhaps I can help. We're both people of business, Nicholas. In the same industry, no less.
Yes, I'm beginning to see the opportunity. There is, however, one final detail to disclose. Mr. Musgrove, my former employee, and the thief responsible for our serendipitous meeting, was caught prior to your arrival. I think it would cement our new partnership if you were to decide on his sentence yourselves. If you wish, you will have the opportunity to tell him yourself, shortly.
He's a thief, and you're going to let him go? That's preposterous.
My security brought Musgrove to my office. I'm sure seeing you again will be a fine conclusion to your previous business.
Just let him go. No sense in more violence. We have an opportunity to spare a man's life.
Oh no. You. Slayton really does have a sick sense of humor. "10 years working in aerospace engineering, and they laid me off. You damn right I stole that thing. They tell you if you have talent and commitment, you can go far. But the truth is, it's all about who steals the most and gets away with it. Please, I was just trying to sell a product, okay? Isn't that why we're all here?"
Be lenient. We were taking advantage of his initiative, after all, even if we have found ourselves working with the man he stole from.
Thank you.
You have no idea how lucky you are, Musgrove. If it was up to me, I'd have fed you to the wolves.
A rare moment of compassion for this city. Very well. I'll clear things up with the authorities. You're free to go.
Time to go. Let's talk more back at the ship. A deal with a man who wanted us dead. I guess... Thank you. I guess. Some people call Isa a jewel, but she's more than that to me. I can't really describe it. There's a me, and her, and an us. And I wouldn't trade the us for all the credits in Neon.
Well, there's a surprise. That's one of the sweetest things I've ever heard you say, Walter.
All in all, a great success. Thank you for allowing me to tag along with Constellation's newest star. Yes, I used a pun. Forgive me.
All thrusters firing.
but I will offer you one chance to hand over the artifact and turn away from this path.
Oh, that's not any type of ship I recognize.
The fact that you do not know says much. We are the Starborn, and you are unworthy to possess the artifacts.
Ridiculous. You have no right to dictate what we can or cannot do with the artifacts.
Tell us, please. What are the artifacts? What are they for? Did you make them? What gives you more right to them than humanity?
Answering your questions is exactly what we cannot allow. Abandon your thirst for knowledge, or drown in it. We are growing impatient. Cease your attempts to stall for time.
But you speak our language.
We know everything about you. That is why your kind cannot have the artifact. The more you understand, the more damage you will do.
How could just knowing what you are be dangerous?
Our distance from you is the whole point. We interfere now because we must.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the scans. Energy output from that ship is far above the normal range. If we spin up the grav drive now, we have a chance. We'll get through this. Hold on!
Every time I return here, I'm reminded of the importance of Constellation's contributions to exploration.
Okay, I'll start transferring the data over now. Let me just bring it up on here at the table. Is that a prototype? No, that material isn't anything we... What the... Everyone, come take a look at this.
That's no faction vessel or Crimson Fleet. Secret military tech, maybe?
No United Colonies Admiral approved that starship design.
They call themselves the Star. Demanded we hand over the artifact. Like we were children, playing with their parents' things.
What do people know? Any offshoot groups go by that name?
None in any corner of the settled systems I've seen. Maybe a distant human colony finally popping its head up. Another house for Rome.
I very much doubt that.
We ignoring the obvious here? A heretofore unknown group who just happens to know about the artifacts. I'm just gonna say it. Intelligent alien life, or extra-dimensional beings. The original creators from the furthest fringes of space.
Or beyond even that. Is the metaphor of avenging angels coming down to keep humanity from forbidden knowledge not apt here?
So, we have a lot of theories, but nothing concrete. Except that they're after the artifacts, and they're willing to take them by force.
No settled systems lab made these things, and I doubt one of them made that ship either.
So, we got some weird extra-dimensional beings that coincidentally decide to build their spacefaring vessels exactly like we do. Not so sure about that.
Noel, Start analyzing all the data from the ship sensors, the gravitational wave they caused, scans of their weapons, shields, everything.
If you are free,
We're in the dark. We need to learn anything about them we can, including some way to fight them if necessary. Until then, we stay the course, collect the artifacts. It's even more important now that an intelligence we don't know or understand is looking for them. All we can do is be more cautious, but we are not stopping. This could end up being a race we don't want to lose. Vladimir, has the Eye picked up anything new?
Some glints of shine in the dark. Ready to hand them out as soon as you please.
All right. Good luck, everyone. And be careful out there.
I'd like to talk to you about something. Chance.
As much as I love to talk questions, I only have a few answers now and then.
Some dust wrangler on the
Hey there, Deputy.
Our newest deputy. Hey, I wondered when you might come by. I'm Alex. Nia's report said you were heading for Neon? I've always wanted to go there. What did you think? Oh, I can't fly anywhere. Issues with my eustachian tubes. Being in a pressurized environment is like someone taking a laser cutter to the sides of my head. It's not great, but at least I can pretend to visit the party capital of the galaxy by having you tell me about it. Yeah, I bet. It just sounds so exciting and so stimulating. Probably makes Aquila City look like the more boring backwater town in the settled systems by comparison. Alas, I'll have to experience it vicariously through you and the other Rangers. So how'd it go? Turn up anything useful? Did he now? Well, in that case, challenge accepted. It's only a matter of time before I know every dirty little secret stored in this thing. Now, if you get any more of these, bring them to me. It helps if I can compare different instances of the encryption they're using. Just look for me up here. I have no life, so I'm not usually hard to find. You're counting on me. You know I outrank you, right? Please and thank you go a long way when addressing your betters, rookie.
Let's talk for a minute. Welcome back. Any luck finding out who stole that ship from Hope Tech? Glad you got a chance to meet him. Sounds like you're making real progress. You're off to a good start, but that's all it is, a start. What did you learn from this starship thief? Now we're getting somewhere. Sounds like you've got a couple of new leads to follow up on. I have a guess who Marco might be. I served with Maya Cruz. She's a technical genius and an expert hacker. I can give you some background if you want it, or we can go straight to planning your next move. Like what? Most likely place would be the clinic. It's in Freestar Collective space and provides the best medical services credits can buy. They also guarantee privacy. so it's an ideal place for someone trying to keep a low profile. Ranger Ben Armistead is posted there. I'll send him an update on the situation. Around the time he got out of jail, we started hearing Marco's name in circulation. Word is he's heading up a smuggling racket. Based on what you've learned, I'd presume he's funneling his ill-gotten gains to the First. Ranger Autumn McMillan is out at Red Mile right now, looking into the smuggling operation. I suggest you pool your resources. Just remember, that's outside Freestar collective space, so we've got no jurisdiction there. Your priority is to gather more intel about the First. What are they planning? Who are they working for? Where are they headquartered? Just remember that your targets were locked up because they were loyal to their unit. They think the Freestar Collective betrayed them. In other words, you ain't gonna get a warm welcome, so be careful. Good hunting, Deputy.
Ma'am, I'm just the courier.
I understand that. I'm not blaming you directly.
Yeah? Got some trouble? Oh, now hold on a minute. You're the new deputy, ain't you? Yeah, the marshal's been sending out reports, keeping us all in the loop in your investigation. And having some success, by the sound of it. Ben Armistead, pleased to meet you. Well, I guess that's the long and short of it. You're the newest member of the Rangers, and I'm the oldest. So, is one of them first mercenaries here at the clinic? Every Ranger knows it's important to trust your instincts. No better place in the settled systems to get medical treatment. You can bet it beats anything them UC piglets got. Ironic, given they're the ones who built it. I know just the man who can help you. Right this way, Deputy. Just between you and me, I ain't entirely sure why someone felt the need to station a ranger out here. I'm not much more than a glorified bodyguard for Dr. Darvish. She's the one in charge around here, and she's also on the Council of Governors. Most of the staff don't seem fond of the idea of me being here, and I ain't fond of them right back. Bunch of stuffy eggheads, if you ask me. Except Ari, that
If you're thinking about
He's
going
about
into
the only
medicine,
one I can
just
have
be
a conversation
really
with.
sure before you commit
Hey
to
there, Ari. Working
Really
hard or hardly working?
Hey, Chief. A little more of the
Be
former
careful
than the
if you
latter.
run into those ecliptic
We'll bring
jerks.
you by.
They fly around like they
Well,
own
the
settled
deputy
systems.
here could use some
And
help.
they like to use old
Came
abandoned
looking for
facilities as
someone
outposts.
who might be
You know,
impatient.
ones left over from the colony war.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, I'll leave you in Mr. Miller's capable hands. You need anything else, I'll be in my office.
I'll try to help you, but our computer systems have been having some issues. Huh. Well, we don't give the patients free access to our computer systems, so I doubt that's related. Still, it's worth keeping in mind. So who's the suspect you're after? The name's not ringing any bells, but maybe we can approach this another way. Do you know what was wrong with her? That should help narrow things down. I can access the patient records from my terminal, assuming the database cooperates. Come on. Okay, give me just a minute here. Maya Cruz. Maya Cruz. Come on, Maya. I need you to be in here. Okay, finally. Here we go. Oh. No matches found for a Maya Cruz. If Maya's here, then she's got to be using an alias. Which actually makes a lot of sense if she's a wanted woman. Yeah. Let me think for a second. All right, hang on. I know that we do have a few female patients staying with us. There's Candace... what's her last name? Doolin. Candace Doolin. And then there's the Nakamori woman. I think her name's Jane. I don't recall offhand what they're here for, but it's a start. Sorry I couldn't be more helpful. I'll keep looking, see if I can turn up anything else useful.
How does she expect me to get all this done by myself?
These poor people.
Excuse
I
me.
can't imagine
What gives you
suffering
the right
from
to come
something
in
no
here?
one
You're
understands.
not my attending physician.
It must be terribly frightening
Now, before
for
I
them.
call for security. Well, I suppose I can give you a minute. Believe me, I hadn't intended to stay here. I'm a courier. I was transporting certain sensitive documents here to the clinic. My ship was intercepted by pirates. I escaped, but not without damage to my life support systems. By the time I reached the clinic, I was barely alive. I was rescued and placed in intensive care. That was 2 days ago. Well, the nature of my work requires a certain level of discretion, much as yours does. I've shared all that I'm willing to share with you, Deputy. Not happening. Not my problem. I'd like to think so. I wish I could, but if anybody found out I'd helped you, I can see that you still have doubts. If you don't believe me, then ask Mr. Miller at the desk. He can verify who I am and how I came to be here.
This place makes me feel awful cooped up. Oh, I miss having my hands in the soil. Why, hello. Are you here to keep me company? I do hope so. I can't get any of these doctors or nurses to slow down and just chat for a while. They all claim they're too busy. It certainly is. Why, I might as well be back home with my husband. He's just as bad, always too busy to talk. That man couldn't sit still and listen if his life depended on it. You'd think he could be bothered to pay me a visit once in a while, but no. All I get is the occasional letter apologizing because he's too busy to run the farm all by himself. So hire some help, I tell him. And then all he wants to do is complain about how my medical bills ate up all our money. Ugh.
Perhaps we should move on.
You want to talk about questions, Well, I've got plenty of those. Starting with how come these so-called doctors can't find anything wrong with me? I've got no end of pains. Headaches, sore knees, a sore back, digestive problems, and all manner of other ailments. I keep telling them I must have caught some kind of alien virus. But these fool doctors can't figure it out. I'd had test after test for 3 months straight, and I'm damn near broke from the cost of staying here. Well, ain't you smart, using them big words? If that's supposed to make me feel better, I got news for you. It don't. I thought the high and mighty Freestar Rangers were supposed to help others in need. If you ask me, I think that sterling reputation's getting a little tarnished lately. Well, go on then. Don't let the troubles of one poor citizen distract you from whatever higher calling you all answer to these days.
Hey, how'd it go? Did you have any luck? As a matter of fact, I do. I made some progress digging through the patient records, and I have one more lead for you. Her name's Catalina Rivera. She was rushed into surgery for some kind of emergency procedure. I probably shouldn't say this, but she was in real bad shape. The good news is, she seems to fit your suspect's profile. The bad news is that she's a guest in our VIP wing. That area is restricted to authorized clinic personnel. Even I can't go in there. Yeah, well, I don't think the doctors here care all that much about where the Rangers are supposed to go. Dr. Cassidy's in charge of the VIP wing. You need his permission to enter. Unfortunately, he's a real stickler for the rules, and the rules say no visitors without prior arrangement. You didn't hear this from me, but I happen to know that he keeps a spare access card somewhere in his office. Hope that helps you.
I don't mean to be rude, but unless this is a medical emergency, please get someone else to help you.
If people would stop poking their noses into every undisclosed
must be something they don't want us to find. Was that you?
Open fire!
I've had more than enough time to prepare for this. So either you leave now, or I'll be burying what's left of you.
Temperature levels are bottoming out. I've served on many vessels, and not one of them would have remained space-worthy if it wasn't for the robots we had aboard.
You might not think so now, but it's likely to end up that way. How about I make this real simple for us both? I've got maybe a few weeks to live, and I ain't spending them behind bars. You want to put an end to me here and now? Then fine. Get it over with. Life's kicked me around enough as it is. But if you want to let me die on my own terms, then leave me in peace. Well, how about a test? Rangers are known to be handy with a gun. But here's a problem you'll have to solve with your brain instead. I've encrypted this slate. If you can crack it, you'll learn something useful. Now get out of here, and leave me in peace.
I wanted to talk to you, but honestly, I don't know where to begin. The Starborn's technology is simply astonishing. It's just almost too much to process. Yes, I suppose I am. But you can hardly blame me, can you? You do understand the significance of this encounter, don't you? This is humankind's first contact with what I believe is an alien race. A race with technology that could be far superior to our own. Oh, we could learn so much from them. That's what disturbs me. Can't be a coincidence that these Starborn suddenly appeared after your experience at that temple. We know they're here to lay claim to the artifacts, but what's their true motivation? What aren't they telling us? I feel exactly the same way. But it certainly sounded like they weren't willing to work with us at all. Damn. Oh, if only we knew more about the Starborn. What their species is like, where they're from, how they're able to speak our language. I feel like a cadet on my very first day aboard a spaceship. My mind is absolutely swimming with questions. Obviously, but there has to be more to these beings than simply originating from another world. Their name alone, Starborn. There's some type of hidden meaning there. Something that feels very old, perhaps even ancient. Whatever the case may be, I can assure you that Constellation intends to get to the bottom of this mystery. Exactly. We must use all of the tools at our disposal to learn more about the Starborn and their connection to the artifacts. Thank you. I really appreciate your support right now. You know, it's funny. When I was a little girl, I'd lay on the ground and stare up at the stars. I was absolutely convinced they held a secret. I'd remain there for hours in silence, eyes closed, listening, waiting for the secret to be whispered in my ear. This encounter with the Starborn is that moment to me. The stars are finally whispering, and I need to hear what they have to say. I knew I could count on your support. Well then, I've certainly wasted enough of your valuable time. Just do be careful if you cross paths with these Starborn in the future. I wouldn't want to lose one of the most valuable members of Constellation. When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you. Hey, thanks for taking time to chat. I really need a friendly ear right about now. I received a message from Constellation, and it's given me a lot to think about. No, it's nothing like that. It's just a list of requests. Things I would normally handle if I was there. But I'm not. I'm out here instead with you. Something like that. It's difficult to explain. Before I joined Constellation, I served for 8 years as the head of the Navigator Corps, until the UC decided to axe the department. It was a branch of the United Colonies Navy, a small fleet of ships outfitted for galactic exploration. Basically, a military version of Constellation. Had we notched some significant achievements, I'd agree with you. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy discoveries to justify the spending, and money was tight after the war. Shutdown was inevitable. At the end of the day, I was in charge, so the blame obviously fell on my shoulders. Oh, like hell I can't. You once told me that you favored the journey over the destination. So I'm hoping you'll understand what I'm trying to say. I failed because I was more concerned about exploring the stars than pushing a pencil. If I had fought harder, I'm convinced our division may have had a chance to prove its value. That's just it, though. They left me to my own devices, and yet I somehow screwed everything up. No, damn it. For once, I'm going to say what's on my mind instead of pretending that everything's okay. Call it whatever you want. My drive, my initiative, my optimism. It's been my greatest strength and my worst nightmare. It elevates me to these positions of authority, but all I want to do is explore, not sit and make sure all the accounts are balanced. Yes, exactly. If it's obvious to you, imagine how obvious it is to someone like Barrett or Mateo. Oh, they must be itching to replace me by now. God damn it. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Oh, here you are trying to help me and I'm yelling at you. You have to understand. Once Aja retired, I lost the only person that gave a damn. Look, it's clear that you have feelings for me. It's just, I've never had time for this sort of thing in my life. Please, it's not you, it's me. I'm just not ready to get that close. I can't. Not now. But thank you for being there and listening. It helped. It really did.
Aquila's really the heart of the Freestar Collective.
It's really an honor to be able to help out.
Hey there, Deputy. Way I hear it, you've been keeping busy jumping from one side of the Freestar Collective to the other. How do you like the job so far? That's good to hear. So, what brings you by? Well, well, what do we have here? Well, this is new. Very interesting indeed. I'll see what I can do. If you can get me another one of these, it'll give me more context for the encryption and should speed things up. In the meantime, you be careful out there, Deputy. From what I've heard, these mercs mean business.
Beginning landing cycle.
Oh, just the thought of landing at the Red Mile was making me sick. Now that we're here, I'm almost at a loss for words.
Bullshit. You didn't think we'd notice that you tried to slip away?
I'm really not in the mood. Wait a minute. Judging by the wide-eyed and clueless look on your face, I'm guessing you're the new deputy. Wonderful. Well, your timing couldn't be worse. I've spent weeks trying to crack this smuggling ring, and I'm about to take a very important meeting.
Look, both of you are here for the same reason. So why don't you drop the tough girl charade and learn to work as a team?
And I'm telling you, I don't have time to babysit rookies. Yeah, well, you're here now, so we'll just have to make it work. I don't have time to catch you up, so you're gonna have to follow my lead. I'm about to meet with a contact who might be able to give me vital information about the smuggling ring. If you play your cards right and don't do anything stupid, she might be able to help you find Marco. If you're ready, my contact is here and waiting. Follow me.
Things are going smoothly, I trust? Tell me everything.
It's about Donovan. He keeps adding to his...
Oh, I can't believe people who participate in blood sports can possibly be considered celebrities or heroes. Oh, in my mind, they're worse than criminals.
Take a seat.
Word any other.
So you're working with Autumn, huh? Who are you?
I'll take care of it. I'll do that. I know it probably chafes at your sense of...
Is that so?
The deputy here is interested in meeting Marco to talk about that mercenary company he's been funding. Since part of that money is coming from his smuggling operation, we're working together.
So you're investigating the first? Why? Seems like a strange thing for a mercenary company to be doing.
I guess an introduction is in order. Like Marco, Jade here is the head of a small smuggling cartel. Difference is her crew stays out of Freestar Collective space, while Marco's group operates exclusively within it.
Except now he's looking to expand his operation, and he started moving in on my territory. That's exactly what this meeting is about. Look, the bad news is, Marco's incredibly paranoid. He never stays in one place for long. The good news is, I know how to find him.
But you're not gonna tell us yet because you want something.
I want the same thing you do. I want Marco out of the picture. But like I said, getting a meeting with him can be damn near impossible. One of the few people who can arrange such a meeting is right here at Red Mile.
May Divine. We've suspected for some time that Red Mile was a meeting place for smugglers. If she's in business with Marco, she won't give him up easily.
My thinking exactly. I can tell you right now what she's gonna want, because it's the same thing she always wants. She wants runners. It's how she makes most of her money. Of course, people that hard-blooded aren't easy to find.
Yeah, well, I'm not going out on the Mile. That's a death sentence. There has to be another way.
You've been a ranger long enough that too many people know your face and your name. Runners attract a lot of attention. If someone recognizes you and tips off May, this whole thing is shot. You, on the other hand, are just a deputy. It's pretty unlikely that a lot of people know you.
You don't have to do this. We'll find another way to get to Marco. The Red Mile is incredibly dangerous. I just don't want to see you take a risk like that. All right, it's your call to make. If it's really as simple as asking May Divine for a meeting with Marco, then I guess that's all you need to do. We'll wait here for you. Try not to die, will you?
What can I help you with?
You're really going to take on the Mile, huh?
I keep thinking the next time I'm gonna live up to the next.
Ah, a new face. I wonder, is this the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile? Or simply one seeking a respite from the burdens of life? My name is May, and I'm the proprietor of this establishment, home of the famous Red Mile. I assume you're familiar. Never heard of it. Never heard of it? I won't even ask how that's possible. You're in for a treat, then. The Red Mile is the settled system's most exciting sporting event. Brave contestants from all corners of the galaxy come here to try their luck in a deadly race to the finish. Those that survive are celebrated as champions. Those that don't are quickly forgotten. I'm happy to answer any other questions you might have. In the meantime, please enjoy our world's famous hospitality. That is true, but Mr. Graziani values his privacy. What is your business with him, exactly? Yes, this is not unknown to me. His association with the First is troubling, to say the least, and that trouble could find its way here. It's been too long since we've had proper entertainment. If you're willing to provide it, I'll give you Marco. Are you prepared to run the Red Mile? Oh. I'm afraid this is the only thing that I want from you. At least for now. Good. Once you've begun, I'll collect bets from my patrons who will place wagers on your survival. That's what every runner says. Mission or not, I can't even imagine why you'd take part in such an uncivilized activity. There's always a better way. Now that we're clear on what's expected of you, are you ready to begin? Good. Come with me and I'll introduce you.
It can get rowdy in this
survival. Absolutely revolting.
The hour of fate. Yes! A runner has come to test the Red Mile! Now is your chance to get a good look at our fearless challenger as you contemplate your wagings. Do you see the fire in those eyes? What is that if not steel and determination? I think you'll agree that we're in for quite a show! The rules are simple. Go through the door and take the elevator down to where the mile begins. Activate the beacon at the base of the tower to see the distance. Once you've done so, return here alive and your run will be complete. Go now, runner, and see if you can survive the mile!
You have succeeded where most have failed. In fact, you seem none the worse for wear. Indeed you have, and in most impressive fashion. As promised, I'll set up your meeting with Marco. I'll dispatch a courier to let him know you're coming. Please take a moment to relax and enjoy our hospitality. I'll return shortly.
It's not every day you meet someone known throughout the settled systems.
You're back. Are you okay? Really? Either the Red Mile's reputation is exaggerated or you're just that good. Anyway, I'm relieved you made it through okay.
Why? Afraid you'd lose all that work you put into your smuggling investigation?
I wouldn't expect you to understand. All you see in people is what you can get from them. I'm glad, because that was an incredibly brave thing you did. And we need Rangers with that kind of courage. Also, I owe you an apology. I was pretty awful to you at first. I'm sorry about that. How could you possibly... Maybe someday I can... But no. No. Now isn't the time. We need to focus on the task at hand. Once you're on your way, I'll return to the Rock and let the Marshal know what's going on. Come home safe, Deputy. That's an order.
You always were the soft one, little sister.
Oh, go to hell. Or at least make yourself useful and get us some drinks.
You must be tougher than you look.
Time for me to keep my promise, runner? You can find Marco on Kodos aboard his ship. I'd advise you not to keep him waiting. He is not exactly patient. Good. Travel safely, runner. Should you ever crave the challenge of the mile again, it will be here, waiting for you.
Touching down.
Boss is in the back.
Well, one thing's certain. Graziani certainly isn't afraid to flaunt his wealth. My word. Some of these pieces on display are incredible. They belong in a museum.
Welcome. May's message didn't exactly make it clear why you wanted to meet with me. If you're looking for work, my organization is always in need of pilots and security personnel, willing to take risks. Ah, I see. You did well to find me. I'm not an easy man to locate. Though I suppose we haven't exactly been keeping a low profile lately. Given the nature of the contract, a degree of exposure was always a risk, but a calculated one. To be honest, I think the Major is all but spoiling for a confrontation with the Rangers. Still, I confess, I'm a little disappointed that the Marshal sent a deputy instead of a full-fledged Ranger.
I'm willing to bet this deputy can handle whatever you intend to throw in our path.
And who might you be?
Sarah. Sarah Morgan.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard, Sarah. It's clear you are a woman of refinement as well as beauty.
How about we skip the compliments and move things along, shall we?
Your deputy friend here could have a bright future, assuming we all keep our heads. I'm not sure you are grasping the situation here, Deputy. You are on my ship, outnumbered by my guards, who will kill you without hesitation. I'm a businessman. If you expect me to cooperate, I'm going to want something in return. I won't tell you everything. I do still have some loyalty to my unit. However, I can point you in the right direction. In exchange, I want the Rangers to let me operate with a free hand. I have a better idea. Instead, I tell you something you don't want to know. But you should. The Council of Governors is a group of greedy and corrupt liars who are using you and the other Rangers to protect their own interests. Do you really think they give a damn about the people of the Freestar Collective? Whatever road brought you here, your journey ends today.
I can't take much more of this. Might as well take what we can. Got another one!
Welcome to the Rock, Cutlass. I'm proud to be helping the Freestar Rangers.
These Rangers are some hard-blooded folk. They ain't afraid of anything.
Just making my way.
Helga says I spend too much time at my terminal. She's probably right. Hey there, Deputy. How goes the hunt for the first? Good, good. If you ask me, I don't think they stand a chance. You're like an Ashta creeping silently through the high grass, waiting for your chance to pounce, and then boom! Down they'll go. So, did you get any more of those encrypted slates? Because, let me tell you, I am so close. Who, me? Doubt you? Not a chance, Deputy. I knew you were a natural the moment I laid eyes on you.
Better this than being some dust wrangler on my tower.
Come in, Deputy. Take a seat.
This won't take long.
While you've been in the field, we've had more reports about farmers being threatened and attacked. Unfortunately, some didn't survive. Set those thoughts aside. Right now, I need you to focus. How's your investigation proceeding? That's assuming he finds something useful. Otherwise, you'll be no better off than when you started.
It must be very easy for you to sit back and criticize when we've been doing all of the field work.
I've done my part. Besides, this is Ranger business, so why don't you keep your mouth shut?
Let's move on. I asked the other Rangers to share their opinions of you, and there are some things I want to go over. We'll start with Ranger Callow in Hopetown. She was grateful for your timely arrival, and impressed you had the guts to take on those pirates. Nia says you were respectful with Ron Hope and didn't push too hard. That shows me you were listening when I said to go easy on him. I can understand that. He can be uncompromising, but he looks after his people.
Let's continue. We got a detailed report from Ranger Price about your recent visit to Neon. He said you took on a syndicate loan shark to help an informant. And you were right to do so. Helping people is our most important duty, even when you're conducting an investigation.
You got results, and that's what matters most. Price was impressed by that. Said you really took the initiative.
Ranger McMillan praised what she called your uncommon bravery and dedication. She said you took on the Red Mile so you could get a meeting with Marco Graziani. Sounds like you're starting to understand what it means to be a Freestar Ranger.
So what happened with Marco? I doubt he gave you that slate out of the kindness of his heart. I suppose underestimating you was his last mistake. Damn. I thought if anyone could see reason, it'd be Marco. What about Maya Cruz? Her loyalty to Hull and the 1st Cavalry was stronger than most. I guess I'd want the same thing if I were in her place.
Excuse me, Marshal?
Not now, Alex. We're in a meeting here.
I know, but this is important. I've done it. I've cracked the encryption on the slates. Now, I don't know exactly where the First are headquartered, but there are references to a place called the Factory.
The Factory? That was our nickname for the main facility where the mechs were manufactured.
Under the terms of the peace treaty, they shut all the mech factories down right after the war.
But they didn't destroy them. At least not all of them. The facility was on Arcturus 2. It could be a dead end, but if it's not, then you'd better be ready for a fight.
If the Marshal's right, you could encounter serious resistance. Be prepared.
Construct primed. Retros firing.
I know a few archaeologists back in New Atlantis that would give their left arm to be here right now. millions? Not sure power like that was meant for humankind.
Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
You really should have stayed up.
They're not jumping out of here. Enemy's jump drive is offline.
Left dice. Moving to engage.
Grab jump down. Oh, we're stuck. You took out their jump drive. They've blown out our shield system. All shield systems are back in the green. You've taken down their shields. Their grab drives down.
Nothing personal, but I'm taking you out.
We've blown out their grab drive.
Not too late to run, scab.
We tagged their grab drive. Our grab jump's in the green. Good to go for that.
I never tire of visiting worlds like this. These mechs were some of the deadliest instruments of war created by mankind. It's a relief that they've been anchored by the armistice.
Officer first. Marshal Blake must be getting desperate sending a lone deputy out here. But I'll give credit where it's due. You're a hell of a pilot. If you came here seeking
action. I've got no use for lies. So when I tell you that you're being manipulated, you know I'm telling the truth. You think the Council of Governors really cares about anything but themselves? They're greedy and corrupt. You're a tool in the...
Find anything useful?
Just like... I was loyal. I followed orders, and I led good men and women to their deaths. I'll carry the stain of that dishonor to my grave.
Engaging hard!
Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest.
The First Cavalry was the greatest fighting force the Freestar Collective has ever seen. At the Battle of Mira, the First Cavalry was destroyed. Why? Because the generals got scared and asked for a truce. I've got no sympathy for cowards. Or for the people who put them in power. I've also got no sympathy for those who do their bidding. And this means you. We're engaging!
The scope of the operation the FC was running here. It's a miracle that the fighting ended at all.
Going to end you!
in the Freestar Collective and cut right through them. If we'd have had more like you in the war, we could have planted our flag in New Atlantis. Not the way it should have. Of course, I can't expect you to understand what we sacrificed, what we lost. You don't know what it's like to look around and see the faces of warriors who trusted you to lead them as they die screaming. I watched brave men and women torn limb from limb by monsters. I saw mech pilots cooked alive in their cockpits as their machines burned. Those deaths didn't have to be meaningless, but spineless leaders gave up on us, even when victory was within our grasp.
We've both seen our share of hell. It's whether or not we allow those awful memories to consume our souls that defines who we are.
You have no right to judge me! You really want to know? Because you might not like the answer. Last chance, Deputy. You can walk away right now and remain blissfully ignorant, thinking you fight for a noble cause. But if you still want the truth, I'll shatter that illusion for you right now. We'll see about that. Not long after I started the first, I was contacted by a man who said he represented someone wealthy and influential. I refused to work for a shadow client, so he agreed to set up a meeting. Imagine my surprise when Ron Hope showed up. He offered me a lucrative contract to take possession of certain farms throughout Freestar space.
That's quite an accusation.
All I know is that after we cleared the place out, Hope was sending in some kind of machinery. Our job was to make sure nobody saw the operation. To keep the Rangers off the scent, Hope wanted to hit a lot of places quickly and finish whatever he was doing before word spread. We needed another ship to meet his timetable, so he gave us the intel necessary to steal one from his factory. It also let him play the victim and keep suspicion to a minimum. The credits were good, but yeah, getting some payback was the real reward. Don't bother.
We're trying to take you in quietly. Violence is not the answer, Major.
I'm gonna make this easy for you, Deputy. I'm gonna die the way I lived. Weapon in hand, no compromise, no fear. But first, when the next war comes, and it will come, the Collective needs to be strong. Now my unit's waiting for me, and I'm gonna report for duty one last time. Goodbye, Deputy.
Well, I suppose they're not going to need it anymore. There's bound to be something valuable here.
The best thing that happened to us.
Keep an eye on your valuables. If you can't protect your own, you don't belong here.
Very generous, Mr. Hope.
It's well earned, Birgit. We set some ambitious goals. You met him. Good to see you again. Well, I've just received a report from the Marshal about your progress. He said you had a promising lead on the mercenaries who stole my ship. I trust you're here with good news. Of course. What have you learned? Well, that's one hell of an accusation, Deputy. That two-faced bastard kept the slate. Oh, I suppose this is his revenge against the Council of Governors for what happened during the war. I'm impressed, Deputy. It's clear you have a bright future ahead of you.
What's going on? What is this about, Mr. Hope?
Nothing that concerns you, Birgit. In fact, why don't you make yourself scarce?
I think I'd like to hear what the deputy has to say.
The cards are on the table. So why not? The truth is, we've been falling behind the competition. Significantly so. We needed solutions. A few years ago, I began to diversify. We started to research chemicals, fuel, those sort of things. We developed an experimental fertilizer. And it failed utterly. It wiped out entire crops. I was prepared to write the whole thing off when we made a discovery that changed everything. Turns out, our fertilizer was transforming the soil, bolstering its mineral content tenfold. We donated the fertilizer to select homesteads and let the farmers do the work. And when the time was right, we cleared the farm and brought in machinery to harvest the mineral-rich soil. The reduction in labor and materials costs sent my profits soaring.
So those farmers poisoned themselves, and you ended up reaping profits. How can you even live with yourself?
It's nothing personal. It's just good business. I don't expect you to understand. Look, I'll level with you. We're falling behind the competition. The hardworking people of this town depend on me for their livelihoods, and I won't let them down. Cutting my costs means saving their jobs.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How could you do something so awful to innocent people, to families?
Not another word out of you, Birgit. I can take your job and more. We'll discuss this later. In any case, I suppose the gig is up. I give you my word that I'll call off the operation and return the land to its rightful owners. You're right. Yeah, those families deserve to be compensated for the inconvenience. Well, perhaps a discount on their next purchase from Boat Tech.
You're seriously turning an apology into a business pitch. That's disgusting.
With that resolved, let's talk about you. As a member of the Council of Governors, I'm authorized to award you a substantial bonus. And of course, we'll both agree to forget about my little cost-cutting endeavor. Well, let's not be too hasty, Deputy. There's something else you need to consider. I'll do what's necessary to protect my company and my employees. If you tell anyone about this, you're risking their livelihoods. Do you really want to put all these people out of work and make their families suffer? But on a much larger scale, yes. Justice can be complicated, Deputy. Sometimes the cost of exacting justice is greater than the cost of doing nothing. I'll make myself very plain. I won't let you jeopardize my reputation, this company, or the people who work for me. If that means you suffer an unfortunate incident at the hands of my security personnel, so be it. I'm important. You're nothing.
You're not actually threatening to attack a Freestar Ranger, are you?
You're a despicable man, Hope. And I hope you get exactly what you deserve.
You just threatened a member of the Council of Governors. On my authority, you're stripped of rank, declared an outlaw. Guards! Dispose of this criminal.
Not another one for me. Let's do this.
See if they've got any weapons or ammo.
He tried to have you killed. I don't understand. Mr. Hope always seemed like such a good person. But everything he said about the farmers and hiring those mercenaries, it was so awful. No, you're wrong. That's not all he was. He always looked out for us, for his employees. No, of course not. But there was more to him than that. He had a genuinely good side, a caring side. And now he's... You killed him. Nobody should ever want that. Especially when it means killing someone who meant so much to so many people. What happens to us now? That would be Elana. Elana Nwankwo. She seems pretty capable. Maybe we'll be okay after all. I guess we'll have to figure things out. Find a path forward.
You should try Filburn's.
Good to see you back safe, Deputy. What's the word on the mech factory? Were the mercenaries hiding out there? Well, don't get too used to killing. For a ranger, that's always a last resort. Did you find out why the first was taking over farms? What? Ron Hope? That's one hell of an accusation, Deputy.
Are you really that surprised? Hope's always had a reputation as a man who'd do anything to succeed.
He's on the damn council, Emma.
So he can make laws favorable to his business interests. Sure, he's known to look after his people, but do you really think he gives a damn about some farmers on Montara Luna?
Did Hope explain his motives at all? That has a familiar ring to it.
I recall hearing about some Hope Tech initiative to help farmers. At the time, I just figured it was a PR stunt. Seems a little more sinister now.
Please, tell me you've got some evidence to back up these extraordinary claims. All right, let's see what you've got. Interesting. Yeah, this is pretty damning. Especially this last bit about destroying the slate. And you confronted Hope about this? Damn. This is going to send shockwaves throughout the Freestar Collective. If the people can't trust their leaders, anarchy could follow.
Have a little faith, Daniel. We're not the United Colonies. One bad apple won't spoil the whole damn barrel.
Easy for you to say. You ain't the marshal.
Not yet, but you ain't gonna live forever, old man.
While we've got you here, there's one last piece of business to take care of. Emma, would you please?
With pleasure, Marshal. When you first joined us, I told you that you'd undergo an evaluation process. There's one thing left to do. A simple question. Do you feel ready to wear the badge of a full-fledged Freestar Ranger? Good. Duty and honor are the backbone of the Freestar Rangers. Marshal, I approve the deputy for advancement to the rank of Ranger.
Thank you, Ranger Wilcox. In your time serving as a deputy, you've shown exceptional courage, fearless tenacity, and a high regard for the safety of our citizens. By the authority granted to me by the Council of Governors, I hereby promote you to the rank of Ranger. Here's your badge. Wear it with pride. But don't forget the solemn responsibility it represents.
Thanks to my own personal biases against the Freestar Collective, I was skeptical when you originally accepted the appointment. But seeing you in this moment, I have to admit that I am bloody proud of you. Well done.
I know you will, Ranger. Let's hear it for our new Ranger.
Well done.
Good job, Ranger!
I think we should have it when you have the time, of course.
A lot of famous people.
I have an important personal decision to make, but I need to discuss something with you first. Phew, thank you. So, where to start? Before I was with the Navigator Corps, I was career military, part of the United Colonies Navy. When the Colony War broke out, I was posted as the chief navigator on a warship, the Dauntless. Well, the position didn't last long. There was a particularly bloody battle. We were fighting over a world in the ITA Cassiopeia system. Worst fighting I'd ever seen. We lost 12 ships that day. 12. Including my own. Economic reasons. Several of the worlds in the Cassiopeia system were mineral rich. Both sides wanted to drop refinery outposts on the surface to bolster their supply. No. This is important. I need to tell you this. The ship was barely intact. The captain and first mate died the previous day, which put me in command. A shrewd captain would have called for the crew to abandon ship, but I was so angry. I wanted to stay. I needed to fight. I believe you, but you haven't heard the worst of this. We fought for hours, but the damage was fatal. I gave the order to abandon ship and the crew piled into the escape shuttle. As the shuttle launched, I could see it was damaged. I heard screams before the radio cut. The last thing I saw, they were spiraling helplessly towards the planet's surface. There was nothing I could do. You're sorry. For me? If I hadn't been so stubborn, so eager to prove that I could handle command, my crew would have had more time to escape. Try telling that to their loved ones. When the dust settled, the United Colonies gave me a medal. Can you believe that? A damn medal! I never even had a chance to find the shuttle wreckage and give my crew a proper burial. Bad luck. That sounds familiar. You once told me, no matter how hard you fight, there are some battles you simply can't win. I wish I had heard your advice long ago. Don't you get it? Everything I do, everything I touch, somehow falls apart. That's why I'm worried about us. All this nonsense and you still have faith, eh? You really care about me, don't you? I'm counting on that. Look, I think I've said all I can handle for now. Thank you for being there, for listening to me when I needed it the most. I'll never forget this. I promise. the better place to recharge and ready ourselves for our next mission.
I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for this. Constellation, the artifact.
Hey, looking to head back out into the far reaches. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
Setting down. Making sure the crew.
Gonna bury
Well, hello. There's a terminal up above, on the catwalk.
Criminal activity in this area will be
I'll let you rummage through here. I have something I need to discuss with you.
Back to the start. Strange.
Let's sit it down.
Playing games. I have some. Look out! Come on! bunking on the ship, but nothing is better than unwinding in your own quarters.
Look at how far we've come. It's all becoming so overwhelming. The Starborn, the artifact visions, the music. Is it all worth it?
Mateo, are you having a crisis of faith? You?
What if the Starborn are right? What if our hunt for the artifacts is a fool's errand, doomed to failure and catastrophe?
You think we're doing the wrong thing? We just want answers. Isn't that why we all joined in the first place? The noble quest of discovery?
Exactly. When the universe presents us with a threat, we can't afford to run away. We need to stay in the fight.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame either of you. Blame the workings of a worried mind. I just hope that this journey doesn't turn us into something that we wouldn't recognize from where we are now.
Hate to interrupt, but I have a favor to ask. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands. Won't be going alone. Need more than just the you and I. Asked around. A few constellations are already on their way up.